Yeah, no, I
All
said it
right.
was.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Three, two, one. Yes, I'm sure. And we're live.
All right.
One
It's
week
not
too late.
showing you light.
It should be.
There it is. Now it's
Oh,
going.
gotta love that delay. Hmm. What's good, everyone?
I'm the only one here.
Uh-oh. Well, maybe someone will watch this later. Who knows? Let's see here. Gotta love that delay.
Are we posting
Oh, you got the link up.
the link?
Cool.
Yep, are we gonna post it?
Here, I'll drop it in here, and you can spam it. Like the stream, god damn it! Taking a fucking page from Sinatra. Spilling my beer. It's not good.
No, it's not.
No,
Not at all.
It's fucking heresy.
I'm gonna throw it in Chris Reagan's channel.
Oh, sweet. We got Jables in here.
Jables. Jables is in here? Is he really?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, Jables.
It's like one giant Saints mod circle jerk.
Huh. I don't know. I'm not a mod, so
No. Alright, we got 4, it looks like, all day.
Buck, you're gonna have to turn your sound up again.
Oh, god damn it, every time. I'm not using an equalizer this time. Where's the fucking
Yeah.
gain knob?
Maybe it's just your really shitty voice.
How about now? If I just speak clearly and make the line in OBS redlined every time I talk.
Yeah, that might actually do the trick.
I'm too goddamn quiet. Alright, shall we get this show on the road with why am I getting InfoWars ads?
Because you suck. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Locked and Loaded with your host, Sergeant Buck and Smart Pig, our new program manager, Poveros. I had a much better opening plan, but you know what? We said, fuck it, we're doing it live.
Because we've got some sort of format on this show, but
we haven't figured it out yet. Apparently.
At some point. I hope I can help with that.
What's
Maybe, I don't know.
what's everyone drinking since we're on the subject of being loaded? Just not locked.
So I'm drinking Stardust. It's an IPA.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a local brew or is it?
Yeah. It's actually local to Buck, I think.
Yeah, it's the Seattle brewery. It's Elysian.
Oh, okay. Oh, right.
And I've got
So,
I've got another little selection from Elysian. I've got the it's a split shot espresso milk stout. So this episode brought to you by Elysian. They don't actually sponsor us, but boy, would that be cool.
Oh yeah, it would be. I am actually drinking what's called a grog shandy. It is a shot of rum, a shot of orange juice, and a light beer poured in. I actually chose Shock Top tonight.
Interesting.
That sounds really, really good on a hot day.
It is actually really, really good no matter what day it is. But it's actually a tweaked recipe because the original recipe that I read is 2 shots of rum, 2 shots of OJ, and then top off the glass with the beer. And I decided to go a little bit lighter tonight with a single shot of the rum and OJ. Because,
Okay.
you know, I like to be coherent when I speak.
Where's the fun in that?
Well, people yell at me when I'm talking and drinking because I start getting louder and louder. That's not really good.
Yeah, I've been there.
So Jable says he's drinking Pyramid. I actually like Pyramid. I've had a few of their
the
stuff.
Illuminati beer.
Yeah, the Outburst Imperial IPA.
All right, Jable's confirmed for being in love with Yo Gotti.
Cue music. All right, so what's first on the agenda for the night?
First off is
That's not up to you, buddy. We have a program manager now, remember?
I actually think we should start with what's on screen since it's already on screen.
Oh, I'll take the fun out of it.
Come along and ruin everything.
So, questionnaire. The privilege test sparks controversy at Milwaukee school. So, this was interesting. I actually found this through one of the LSD guys who had linked me a Tucker Carlson video.
And you pulled up this is the article that you pulled up?
Yeah, so this is the article that I found about it because I didn't want to just like play an entire Tucker Carlson video. But yeah, so this is the article I found on it. It has a small video at the beginning, kind of explaining what's going on from the perspective of one of the parents, which is how people know about it, I guess. Because
all right, so Buck, do you want to start off at the top?
Yeah, sure. You want me to cue the video? I can cue the video. Fuck it.
Let's start with the article first.
Okay.
That's always a good place to start, isn't it?
All right. What? Yeah. Normally. Now let's start at the end. Fuck the rules.
What rules?
Yeah. It's all a social construct, man.
Well, yeah. Technically, rules are social constructs.
Let's
get
started on semantics. All right. An optional test given to some 8th graders in West Bend is sparking controversy and prompted the district to cancel the questionnaire altogether. Thank fucking God.
That was actually an intelligent decision.
Right.
The test was given to 150 Badger Middle School students who read To Kill a Mockingbird. The 55 questions range from topics of sexuality, race, disabilities, religion, and other topics. The district says teachers wanted to start the conversation on privilege after reading the book, but some parents disagree.
Okay, who here has actually read To Kill a Mockingbird?
I have. I love that book.
I have not. My school opted to make me read Malcolm X instead.
What?
So I read To Kill a Mockingbird on my own time. Yeah, I think I was about 15 when I read it, but I can't really remember the book very well. I'm going to have to go back and read it again.
Really good.
The thing that I remember the most is actually with the book was just that scene where the girl's father was at the jail and the lynch mob.
At night,
yeah.
He's just sitting there. He's sitting outside the jail, and they come to kill him, and they're all yelling at him to leave, and he's like, "Fuck no!"
And he completely shames them into just leaving.
it was great. There's a lot of just like really interesting like turns that they played throughout that book. And the reason why I don't know if they completely explained it in the article. The reason why they decided to do this after the Killing Mockingbird is because for some reason the teacher believes that kids today cannot understand the ramifications, or however they explain it.
They're middle school kids.
They're like 13.
This is one of the reasons why. This is one of the, as far as I'm aware, this is one of the reasons why To Kill a Mockingbird is actually a very central piece to modern literature. It actually gives a very accurate portrayal of how things went and how difficult it was back in the day. Continuing on with the article, though, is West Bend District's parent Kim Goldman didn't expect the questionnaire to prompt tough conversations with her daughter. While her 13-year-old is in 7th grade and did not receive the questionnaire, the topic came up in the home because of the controversy at school. for a lot of children, they don't even understand what most of it means," said Goldwyn, which is kind of true. There were questions like, "I have never tried to hide my sexuality," or "I have never been called a terrorist."
Yeah, no,
You're asking this of 13-year-olds?
Yeah, it's like when you said there was a ton of scroll down there on for the viewers.
Hey, Pav, have you tried to look up this questionnaire to see if you can find a copy of it?
I did. Give me a minute.
Oh dear.
I think it's just a really weird image though, so it might not be.
I hope it's not.
Oh. Just to fill the void here. I remember when I was like a fucking freshman in high school, we had to read The Color Purple. And here I'm fucking 14 reading it like a lesbian sex scene, and I'm like, this is not good. I don't like this.
Reading what?
Alice Walker's The Color Purple.
Eh.
I couldn't follow it, and then they just started getting all really fucking lewd and shit, and I'm like, no. Why? It's fucking...
I really want to see.
So here it is. It's a little small, but it's a one-page questionnaire. It's pretty dense. It looks like a fucking BuzzFeed questionnaire that's been printed out.
Yeah.
Like if you guys have a typical BuzzFeed thing, do you want me to just send it to Buck, or do you want me to read it out?
Send it to both of us.
Yeah, drop in the,
put it in the Discord.
Yeah, and I'll just pop it open real quick.
It is.
Privilege test.
This.
I am the very first thing is I am white.
I am white.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then it just keeps going down. But a lot of these things, like I am heterosexual. They're 13. Just
yeah.
I don't. And this entire thing is premised off of the idea that kids won't be able to understand the ramifications of what the book was talking about unless they understood privilege.
My parents pay all of my bills.
Yeah.
Of
course. At age 13, yes!
They're 13?
Did they just... No, no. Holy shit, no. If I go to the BuzzFeed questionnaire, if it's the same fucking questions, I'm going to laugh my ass off.
I have never been mocked for my accent. You haven't traveled much when you're 13, for fuck's sake.
I have never considered suicide.
All right. So read me the fourth one down.
Fourth one down is I have never been mocked for my accent.
It's question for question, the BuzzFeed privilege test. This is question. Like, I'm not even kidding. Read me the last question.
Last question. I feel privileged because of the identities I was born with.
Yep, the exact same fucking thing. Holy fucking shit.
I like how they added that at the top of the page. You can't see it because this page is too fucking small. Let's do this here.
Privilege test, optional activity.
What the fuck, mate?
Peer pressure's a real thing, though.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, like...
My family can afford medical treatment medication when I need it.
Oh my god.
When oh my god.
They're 13. They're 13. I don't expect a 13 to understand the intricacies of fucking healthcare because they get it for free. Kids get it for free.
Who the hell thought this was a good idea?
I have never been cyberbullied. What? Apparently, only minorities get cyberbullied. Jesus fucking Christ.
Hell, I would really like to get Irate Bear in on this one so that somebody could be as outraged and irate about it except able to express it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Holy fuckballs. This just boggles my mind. What kind of educator would think this was a good idea?
I
I could
I don't
totally
know
DM
anymore.
Irate Bear, but I
All
don't
right,
think he's awake.
let's try and get back to let's get back to this
Right,
article
right,
really quick.
Right.
There we go. Right where it left off.
Damn it, Pavros, you had one job.
Hey, I think this is. I don't know.
All
No,
right,
no,
I,
The
where
fact that
were
it's-
we? Where
You-
were
you
we?
left off,
I
you
can't
left
even.
off that I've never been called a terrorist.
yeah, that's what prompted us to go into the thing.
Yeah.
The question.
Okay, I found it. One parent was so upset they took the matter to West Bend Police Department. A spokesman confirmed the call occurred, but that an officer told the person it was a school district matter. Some of the language in the questionnaire, I can see why. As a parent of a 13, 14-year-old 8th grader, some people may feel as though these topics should be discussed in home and not the classroom. Well, no fucking shit. It's like your parents, your
Another
parents
question. I have never been catcalled.
Yeah,
If you're catcalling a 13-year-old, there's something wrong with you.
there's a little bit more going on than sexism.
Holy shit.
Does a 13-year-old even know what a catcall is? I can just
I doubt
imagine
it.
kids
Not.
looking at this is like, what the hell is this stuff?
But like, she couldn't even come up with her own test. She went, or she. I'm assuming it's a she because I'm a fucking sexist, I guess. But
Yes, you
they
are.
couldn't even come up with their own test. They went to BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed, like.
Optional test given to some 8th graders. It doesn't really say West Bend parent. Okay, so Goldman was the parent.
I mean, to be fair, I've had some professors tell me that Huffington Post is an unbiased source of media.
You should dump that professor and start giving your money to someone else.
This wasn't the
So
first
to
year
that-
for the test, guys. Holy fuck.
Jesus.
If we
fucking
want our
Christ.
students to be successful when they go out into their careers in the future, they have to understand that not everyone is like them. They already fucking understand that not everyone is like them, but holy fuck, to thrust this kind of shit on a 13-year-old?
It's ridiculous.
Excuse
It
me,
is just 100% ridiculous.
Timmy, I have to ask you something. Have you ever wanted to bomb the White House?
Ah, Jesus.
Oh,
The
no,
last
you haven't.
last
I guess
the
you're
last
privileged
two
then.
parts to the article. The last two parts of the article. As a parent, it's my responsibility to teach my children the difference between right and wrong. The district has decided to stop giving the test because parents found out.
Oh.
Well,
that's telling, isn't it?
Just slightly. Just slightly.
Fucking telling is well.
I mean, this just reminds me of something that Jordan Peterson made a video about not too long. Students in middle and high school standing up to what they think is indoctrination.
Oh, fuck off.
No,
Go away. Go over there.
All right, let's. Wasn't there another part?
So
There's-
the next part was the hilarity that ensued on Tucker Carlson when talking about this.
Oh, yes.
So the video at the top was exactly word for word the article. So I don't think playing the video is going to. give us the
Okay,
answer.
so who's this woman that's on there with Tucker? Do you know who that is?
I've seen her a few times. She always argues for shit like this. But I'm
Well-
pretty sure he introduces her when we go into this.
I called up the video now, so let's see what kind of damage this is. So, all right, back to 0 and
time. But now they're also teaching kids to feel ashamed of their
Why is there an echo?
families.
I'm not hearing it.
158th graders at Badger Middle School in West Bend, Wisconsin, were recently given a privilege test that identified them as being privileged for being
I
white or
don't think
rich or
it's
having
showing
an
up on the
intact
stream.
family.
Is it?
Currently, I am seeing a Logan Paul.
No, there's a bit of a delay.
It's showing up on the stream. I can see it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I just
okay.
paused it.
Alright. Alright.
Here, I'll roll it back to 0 just for the hell of it.
Yep.
So, I think I'm hearing it in OBS and through here, so.
Right.
Alright, yeah, fucking of course I am. Because, reasons. Alright. There we go.
Middle schoolers in Wisconsin in 2018, To Kill a Mockingbird is about Mississippi in the 1940s. What do their families have to do with that? Like, literally nothing.
It wasn't their families. What they were talking
You
about
skipped
is
to
whether or not
122.
kids.
How the hell? That's a different timestamp on. What the fuck?
Give me control.
Here, I'll just do it.
Oh wait, I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. I can fix it.
Have you fixed it yet?
Fucking give me a second here.
I'm starting to think the people who watch us are watching us just for your screw-ups.
That very well could be.
I mean, it's entertaining.
No. I wanna go back to the So the whole fucking browser source thing, separate from the
Right.
my circle in the browser. So
Really?
son of a-
It doesn't allow you to. Okay.
so when I hit play on my circle, it plays it from the timestamp on the stream, not from. This is weird.
We should ask Jeff how he does it.
I don't know.
Are you
Okay, I
gonna
think-
let me actually have control, or
Well, it's back to 0 now, so you hit play, it's all good.
it's not letting me do anything?
The fuck? I thought I... Come on, I thought I allowed that. What the fuck? Well, whatever, I'm
My
gonna...
dude.
It worked the last time, for Christ's sake.
So did you put it conference call?
Yeah, conference is checked.
Okay. Did you?
There's no reason you can't interact. I don't know why. I don't know why this is
Oh,
happening.
wait. In conference mode, the owner of the room is the only one that can control.
Oh, uncheck. Fuck that shit. Alright, uncheck conference.
Hey, it works.
There we go.
All right, now where do we want to go to?
We want to go to 0.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, schools aren't just for teaching math, reading, or science.
I got
as they
skills.
honestly haven't been for a long time. But now they're also
I am
teaching
the
kids
wrong
to feel
channel
ashamed
host.
of their families. 158th graders at Badger Middle School in West Bend, Wisconsin, were recently given a privilege test that identified them as being privileged for being white or rich or having an intact family. This is common, by the way, in schools across the country. School officials at Badger Middle School said that privilege education was important to enable the students to succeed in their careers somehow. Nell Daly is a psychotherapist, and she joins us tonight. Now, thanks for coming on. This strikes me, and I've seen this before, I've seen it with my own kids, it seems cruel. Children are, as you know, very sensitive about being called out as different. And that's exactly what this does. And it singles out some kids and basically suggests that they're bad for things they can't control. Why would they do this to children?
Well, I would have to respectfully disagree with you here. This, as a journalist, let's just put this into context. They gave this test in an English class after the students read To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay. Okay, what the fuck? I have to She didn't even really say what she disagreed with there.
No, she just
She said, "I have to respectfully disagree with you," and it was like, "What about what?"
but yeah, to just it's her statements leading after this is what's so fucking stupid. But no, for
I guess we should just let her make her case then.
Yeah.
Kids recognize what kind of privilege they have in the society by being who they are. For example, perhaps white, perhaps male. And it's teaching
for
children
fuck's
that
sake.
they need to have compassion for people who are on the other side of whatever they are, and to also not abuse that position of privilege moving forward in their lives.
Oh, so they're scolding the kids for things they can't control, like their race or the condition of their family. I mean, by the way,
that's exactly what they're doing.
You don't believe that my race is out of my control? What the fuck is this?
It's
Bitch, this isn't Fallout 3. My parents don't get a little fucking magic mirror to be like, oh, let's make my kid Chinese because reasons.
What?
Fuck's sake.
All right.
Kids recognize what kind of privilege they have in the society by being who they are. For example, perhaps white, perhaps male. And it's teaching
You keep
children
going to
that
those
they
two
need to
fucking
have
points.
compassion
What's
for
wrong with
people
you?
who are on the other side of whatever they are, and to also not abuse.
There it is. Boom. She had to bring in the misandry.
Kids recognize what kind of privilege they have in the society by being who they are. For example,
What?
Trying to make me mad,
I mean,
are you? Because it's fucking
well,
working.
like,
It's,
in all
yeah,
honesty,
it is.
I don't-
It is. Go ahead.
In all honesty, we're surprised. I mean, we've been hearing this for like what the past 3 years, and it's. I think what gets me with this is that they're imparting this onto kids, and like within the last week, I've heard like 3 different stories involving this. Like one involving daycares, just like, and it's completely
Daycares.
daycare.
Daycares.
Yeah, as in the people who work for the daycares, like female employees, won't refuse to wipe a male or just a male baby's butt because they don't want to make the boys feel like women are there to wipe their butts.
And did they get fired?
I don't know.
Fucking hope they did.
And just like complete bullshit like that. Like, I can understand like walking kids through like their political biases and their just understanding like different things, like, and just like reading To Kill a Mockingbird. But the way this questionnaire is structured after reading To Kill a Mockingbird is very one-sided instead of allowing the child to sit there and interpret what he said.
I'm going to have to completely disagree with you on this one. Instructors are to present, and that's it. Present the different ideas, present the different sides of it, and then let people decide for themselves. And if they have issues with this, yes, they can ask questions, but this isn't anything like that. This is shaming people.
Well, and to build on that, consider what the book To Kill a Mockingbird is about. What the fuck does that have to do with being called a terrorist at age 13?
Right. It's
or affording a therapist. It's like, what?
Right. And I don't disagree with you there, Smart Big. I guess I just misworded my statement. But no, it's so devoid of being like what actually we were talking about, like within To Kill a Mockingbird, that it feels so forced
But it's right there in To Kill a Mockingbird to judge someone based on the color of their skin or the status of their family, or the wealth that they may have. It's fucking wrong.
Yeah,
It doesn't
and
matter. It doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you're on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're white. It doesn't matter if you're black, gay, straight. It doesn't freaking matter.
exactly, and the way that this test is just
The way that this questionnaire is worded, yes, it one-sidedly it shames
yeah,
people who are from a traditional family background, people whose family might be more well off than the kid next to them. It shames white people.
right. And remember, this is word for word a BuzzFeed questionnaire, and we all know how smart they are on BuzzFeed. But
I mean, the more
it just go ahead.
I was gonna say, the more I look into this the whole concept of privilege, the more I realize that privilege just means luck.
It's not just luck.
But it's well,
It's luck.
I would say
It's a bit of luck, yeah.
I would say it's putting an importance
So
on something that doesn't have any control.
So
well, it's also for the kids. Yes, it is putting importance on that out of their control, not importance on your parents or your parents having
You're
stayed
cutting
together
out.
after you were born, or it's putting on for a 13-year-old kid. It's putting importance on things that they have no control over,
yeah,
absolutely no control over. But when it starts getting into adults, it's more of a it's calling into perspective the hard work that people have put in throughout their lives.
yeah.
Yeah, it's throwing out any kind of like actual job that was done and just saying, oh no, it's just because you're white,
I mean,
just because you're male.
as much as I disagree with the concept of a fucking privilege test, to like that test could be quote unquote applicable to someone our age just because there is some individual agency in it.
Right.
But to someone, to a kid who's 12 or 13, who the fuck calls a 12-year-old a terrorist unless you're Clockboy, I guess. That's the one exception to the rule of no kids can be terrorists.
There's just a lot of, I don't know. There's a lot of I'm looking for a word here. There's yeah, I give up. Go on, you guys. It's gonna kill me. I'm gonna remember exactly what it was. Like,
Well, then feel
20
free to
minutes from now.
outburst. Feel free to outburst as we continue to listen to what both of these people have to say.
Kids recognize what kind of privilege they have in the society by being who they are. For example, perhaps white, perhaps male. And it's teaching children that they need to have compassion for people who are on the other side of whatever they are, and to also not abuse that position of privilege moving forward in their lives.
Oh, so they're scolding the kids for things they can't control, like their race or the condition of their family. I mean, by the way, isn't this?
I don't believe anybody was actually scolded, and in fact,
But the implication is, look, you have a special responsibility to be sensitive because.
What?
The pressure of being wrong for a child is a lot greater than for an adult. The idea that you are by existing being wronged, or you're wronging other people, something that's out of your control, is kind of what is being presented with this test. And yeah, there might not be like actual scolding, but the way people's minds work, if they're sitting there as a young child and they're hearing,
the very
white,
way that this whole freaking questionnaire is worded is it's shaming.
Oh, right. Because I'm white. Like I'm ticking this box. I'm white. It's wrong for me to tick this box. Shouldn't be ticking this box. That's how it's presented. That's how it's presented to the BuzzFeed, and that's how it's presented in this little questionnaire. And the like all the other shit that's like just even yeah, a great one would be like how your parents stayed together after like you were born. Are they still together? What the fuck is that kind of a question? Like you really want to just sit there and just hound home like things? Oh, you're privileged. You're like it's not a good thing that your parents didn't get a divorce, because that's how it's presented in these questions. It's not presented. None of these questions are presented positively. They're all presented negatively, and that's the whole point of this. Because at the end of this questionnaire, however many points you have shows that you are negatively affecting other people around you. So no matter if there was like actual like statements of shame,
it's the gauge of if you checked yes, you should feel bad.
Yes.
So, it's just fucked up, mate.
I gotta say though that face that he's making right now.
the resting skeptical face, my dude.
Kids recognize what kind of privilege they have in the society by being who they are. For example, perhaps white, perhaps male. And it's teaching children that they need to have compassion for people who are on the other side of...
You keep playing it at 142. Every time you...
I don't know why.
Every time you click play, it skips back to 142.
Not for me.
I'm at 157.
It was at 0222.
Strange. I'll move it up on my end. 222. You said?
Yeah.
There we go.
Go ahead.
Because of something you can't control. And by the way,
absolutely.
You really
and Tucker, if we didn't teach children this at this point,
hit play,
right? Then we're gonna raise little boys.
Oh, all right. That's what's going on. Click back on conference mode.
Click back on conference mode.
I think it's desynced it for all of us.
Okay, so if I check conference mode, it says a room ruining GG website. Okay, so conference. What? This is weird. This is really weird. Alright, so I have to have conference mode off. Otherwise, I'm the sole controller of the video.
Right. Okay, so are we all at 229 right now?
I'm at 229.
Alright, how about you, Pig?
Let me look. I was saying something snarky in the comments.
That's fine.
It's showing me at 0.
Christ.
It's
what?
Okay. I think you have specifically become desynced from the rest of us.
Great. Okay. Let me just hit refresh.
That's
weird. Hit play.
Okay.
Who end up becoming producers
there we
and
go, 232.
At large
Correct.
movie studios who then end up committing crimes against women like rape.
Wait, what kind of what kind of logic is that? Kids become movie producers who commit rape. What?
It's a conflation. It's a consistent buildup. Like
it's a conflation to the Weinstein stuff that's going.
Yeah.
This
builds to this because this builds to this because this.
That's such a fucking huge conflation. It could pass for porn on E621. What the fuck is this?
It is a huge conflation. That's what almost all of the arguments that you hear from SJWs are.
Jesus Christ.
it's gotten to a point where like there is only extremes. Things only go to an extreme. They never stay at a certain point. They never like something wrong always has to be the worst. It can't be just slightly wrong. That's the reason why you constantly hear people being called Nazis. Because if you hold any political view that is close to a quote unquote Nazi, it has to be the extreme.
Fucking middle schoolers, if you aren't privileged, you're fucking Hitler Youth. What the fuck?
This is giving me a headache.
Alright, I say we go on to the next one.
Alright.
Yeah, I think we've beat this topic to death.
Alright,
Alright.
so
Its own freaking shoe.
since we're talking about conflations, here I'm gonna go with this guy, the Guardian book.
Guardian article.
Okay.
Bumping that over. Boop. There we go.
Boom, I'll start this one. The Guardian, Republicans are now the party of identity politics.
Somehow.
Identity politics used to be for Democrats. Now it's for Republicans, and they're using it perniciously. Wait a second. Is this someone actually freaking admitting that Democrats are all about identity politics?
Evidently.
Identity politics have long been central to the message of the Democratic Party. Viewed as a constituency of African American people, Hispanic people, educated white progressives, LGBTQ people. Well, I got a quick question. Why is it that they always start off with the L?
Because that's just how it's always been.
Because
And because women comes first.
you gotta respect women.
Doesn't it make more sense to do it alphabetically with the B first?
Nope, because
you would think so.
BGLTQ.
The most progressive thing you can be is a woman that only likes women.
No, Chief, we're going
Because
from bad
dicks
to
are
worse.
bad.
I'm gonna have
Dicks
to.
are
I'm gonna
bad.
have to disagree with you. It's actually black trans women who are also into other women.
Right. But this was, remember, you gotta remember, it wasn't the LGBT that was created back in the 80s, right?
No, I believe LGBT wasn't till
I mean,
late 90s.
if dicks are bad, does that mean traps are more privileged than lesbians?
Sure. Let's
I'm
go with
gonna
that.
ask a professor that this quarter. Fuck
Yeah,
so is my last one.
1994.
You should totally do that. Okay,
So, yes.
where we were, let's see, LGBTQ people, single women, and more.
Yep.
Conservatives, meanwhile, had previously defined themselves ideologically. Ronald Reagan's so-called three-legged stool united a coalition of ideologically distinct groups: national security conservatives, social conservatives, and fiscal conservatives, to pursue a single set of policies. Moving this on to somebody else, I have to go refill my drink.
Go
Alright,
forth and
but from
conquer. I'll take over.
Okay.
But from protests around the removal of Confederate statues to the backlash over NFL players kneeling in protest at police brutality, Donald Trump's first year in the White House has shown Republicans to be the real drivers of identity politics. How? It's just one development that typically goes unremarked upon, because Republicans don't really they don't really do it.
Well,
They don't care.
No, I don't.
keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Picking up. Sarah Schulman has written that gentrification is a process that hides the apparatus of domination from the dominant themselves. Oh, I could pick that.
What? Can you unpack that sentence for me?
I can tell you what's
Mr.
wrong with
Educated.
it.
No. Unpack the message behind the sentence for me,
So,
Mr. Educated.
because I'm so fucking woke.
It's
So-
basically.
Okay, so gentrification, it started out as, in medieval times, being the growth of the middle class. The gentry was a group between that wasn't quite peasant nor quite nobility. So they were
So
the middle
merchants,
class.
The merchant class.
Correct. You had craftsmen, you had, let's say, blacksmiths, you had, I don't know, let's say just dressmakers, people who their trade was not simply farming, but they weren't really royal. So
Right.
in this one sentence is saying the middle class is bad.
Well, so how I determine this is like it's basically saying that gentrification is based. It is used as a kind of a cover for kicking black people out of areas. Basically, that's what that statement is saying.
Right,
That
which is
the
completely
gentrification.
well, it's completely the wrong definition.
A gentrification.
Right, gentrification is the growing middle class. Hold on here.
It's not. So currently, the way it's being used, from what I have heard, gentrification means basically like going through like an old town that's like run down and everything, tearing it down, and then rebuilding it back up with new buildings and new businesses.
Okay.
That is how I have heard it used in almost every time I've ever heard the word. And so like and that's the reason why it's considered racist, because what will happen is a lot of times is you'll come through these old towns or these broken down towns, these slums or whatever, where a ton of black people live, and when they tear it all down and build it back up, all of a sudden the housing prices go up because it's no longer a shithole, which then basically forces, in quotation marks, the black people to have to find another place to live, allowing white people to come in and live there comfortably. That is how gentrification is being presented. And so the statement basically says that gentrification is a blanket in which white people try to create white towns without seeming racist.
Well, I understood what gentrification was, but I was trying to understand what this
Right. So
sentence
it
meant.
it
So
hides
thank you
the
for explaining gentrification to me. But
sorry. So it hides the apparatus, of domination. So it hides the apparatus, which would basically mean hiding its true goal of domination, which is like the white people dominating from the dominant themselves.
Okay, I think I understand it now. Just so, Trump's prioritization of America's traditionally class, white, male, and wealthy, has been gifted a cloak of invisibility. Isn't one of the most richest people in the world right now a woman?
Is it? I can look.
Yeah. Pretty sure. I'm thinking of a very specific one right now.
Currently, the top holder for the richest person in the world is Jeff Bezos.
That's not how you spell
He's-
George Soros.
How he became such is he owned. It looks like. Okay, yeah. So he's made his fortune founding Amazon, but what really put him up there was when Amazon bought the upscale grocery chain Whole Foods in June for an estimate of $13 billion, which skyrocketed him up to a
So
net
that's the
worth
guy who-
of.
So that's the guy who, sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt with that clearing of my throat. I was really just clearing.
Oh, okay. Well, it puts his net worth at $90.6 billion.
Damn.
Scheisse.
Yes. It's only followed by Bill Gates, who is sitting at $90 billion.
Well, I feel small now.
Yeah. The right is quick to accuse Democrats of identity politics, such as prioritize voter turnout efforts and equal access to services for same-sex couples. Or when they promote legalizing healthcare for the half population that isn't male. What?
You're cutting out a little bit, just letting you know.
What the
How's that? Is that better?
A little bit.
You sound good
Okay.
now.
Alright, so let me go ahead and say that again. The right is quick to accuse Democrats of identity politicking when they do things such as prioritize voter turnout efforts and equal access to services for same-sex couples, or when they promote legalizing undocumented immigrants and healthcare for the half the population that isn't male. And even prominent Democrats such as Bernie Sanders says the party focuses too much on identity to the detriment of more important things. What a bunch of fucking hypocrites.
Hmm?
But it's Republicans who have been working overtime to protect the narrow interests of a chosen demographic. Because we take the privileges of the powerful for granted, however, only the interests of get described in these terms.
You're still cutting out there. Are you using push or speech to talk?
You want me to switch to push to talk?
No, we're asking you which one you use.
Yeah.
I use
Voice activity?
voice activity.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
do
Do you want me to switch to push to talk?
Oh, no, it might just been a connection thing.
No, I do pause when I'm speaking.
Right.
I will
'Cause
pause when I'm
like,
speaking.
Okay. The only reason why I mentioned it is because like sections of sentences didn't come through.
Okay, that actually might just be my my connection.
So, Republicans are identity politicians because they're choosing to defend a broad demographic, as far as I know, while the Democrats aren't identity politicians because they're trying to split everyone up into groups. What?
Okay, so it's saying, but Republicans have been working overtime to protect the narrow interest of a chosen demographic, white and male and wealthy, basically, is what they're referring to when they say that. Because the privileges of the powerful for granted, however, only the interests of minority groups get described in these terms. So basically, it's creating a dichotomy of Republicans are identity politicians when it comes to white people, and Democrats are identity politicians when it comes to minorities. Which I can kind of see in some instances. There are a significant amount of, and I wouldn't say politicians, I would say people who have kind of overreacted to the overreaction of the left and have flipped, basically, I'm going to use horseshoe theory, flipped it on its head, where they're using the exact same tactics and doing the exact same things as the Democrats, but for white people. And they might be speaking a little too broadly for my liking, because they're just saying basically Republicans in general, which isn't entirely true at all. I would say that Republicans are far less, at the moment, prone to that, but there is a large group of them that are constantly I would say, I would use the word overreacting instead of being identity politic. They want identity politics, but it's an overreaction to basically
It's because they
bullshit,
can't.
like,
It's because they can't get the fucking whites. They're like, we're not a true identity politicians. Then that's how I'm reading it. Then, at least from the Democrats, is like we can't get everyone. So therefore, I don't know.
I say we keep reading.
Where did you leave off at?
All right, so minority groups is
Minority groups are criticized for playing the woman card, in quotes, or benefiting from affirmative action when it's in fact, when in fact it's the powerful in society who've benefited from an invisible form of affirmative action all along. What? Not having to acknowledge that privilege allows the powerful to engage in a game of make-believe, perpetuating the myth that their success is a matter of strict meritocracy.
Motherfucker.
What does that even mean?
Do they not know how a meritocracy works? Apparently.
So basically, they're not even. Well, it doesn't even sound like they're trying to debunk. They're just like the playing the woman card. They're just asserting that that just exists, but then they're flipping and they're saying no, but you though. And basically saying that. I mean, there is slight differences in the way that we treat the wealthy and like celebrities than we treat normal people, but not in the same way that we're calling that people like when Hillary Clinton spends like half of her campaign saying, "Well, I'm a woman." That's not the same as like a rich person walking like dealing with something and then getting off a little bit scot-free of something that a normal person would go to jail for. That's a problem.
That's more classism than anything else, though.
Yeah, and it seems like they're trying to connect the two, but they're doing it very, very faultily. That's not a word, but
so basically, this whole paragraph is just a great big word salad of trying to say, hey, it's okay when we're doing it because you're doing this.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Captain Chief just said they're not defending their actions; they're just pulling the "what about this" to every
point of contention.
Yes, sorry, I can't read right now.
In his piece for The Atlantic, Reflections of an Affirmative Action Baby. What the fuck is that?
Child labor laws?
Oh,
what?
It's another article that they're linking.
Yeah. So
Peter Baynart demonstrates uncommon insight and honesty when he explains how he benefited from such unwritten rules as a young editor at the storied liberal magazine, The New York Republic. Let me go ahead and try to actually understand that sentence I just read. Peter Baynart demonstrates uncommon insight and honesty when he explains how he benefited. Okay. The owner and editor-in-chief at the time felt a particular hostility to affirmative action, Baynard explains, but the irony was the magazine was itself how the hell do you even word that?
Was already
You not English was already
You're fucking killing me here.
Was already a hothouse of racial and sexual preference, just ones that skewed away from women and certain minorities. I was waiting for you to freak out there.
The irony is, not was, is, you cunt!
Ladies and gentlemen, your resident English major.
Yes, I was waiting for him to start winning
Fucking
out.
Christ! Fire
They
yourself for cunt's sake!
They
You
linked
can't
to
say
another.
that.
They linked
Too
to
late,
another
I already
article called
Yeah, Reflections of an Affirmative Action Baby. It's talking about how he only got the position because of who his family was.
yeah, but he's black. So I don't like. I went over to the article to look at it a little bit, and this first line is: in 1991, the African American law student professor Stephen Calder wrote the book "Reflections of an Affirmative Action Baby." Remembering this part of the title is a little what I realized the book title applied to me.
So a quick response to Captain Chief. No, I think if we click enough links, we'll end up at a story about Adolf Hitler.
Let's see if we can do it in 3.
It's the
Let's
Wikipedia
try.
game all over again.
So
How many?
Ta-Nehisi Coates. What the hell is that a name? That's a name. Ta-Nehisi. Ta-Nehisi.
Depends. Are they a fucking 9-foot tall cat person from one of James Cameron's movies? I think that's the case.
I don't know. Name I can't pronounce describes the benefits of race, gender, and class provided to so many of us as a tailwind. And Boehnert, to his credit, saw his own experience in that metaphor. He writes, "I was running hard, but without that tailwind, it's unlikely that I would have become the magazine's editor at age 28."
And I have to ask, did you do a good job, or were you just hired because of your race? I have to ask. It's like, what was the qualifier?
Okay, so I clicked on Tailwind, and it sent me to another article by The Atlantic called "The First White President: The Foundation of Donald Trump's Presidency is the Negation of Barack Obama's Legacy." Okay, coming back to the article we're reading.
Well, that title is wrong.
That is a completely different topic for a completely different day. Yes, back to the article. Trump and his party haven't been so honest. When I was in Maine visiting, I would never accuse Trump and his party of being 100% honest, but that's because they're politicians. When I was in Maine visiting my husband's family this summer, a prominent former lefty leader bemoaned his party's emphasis on identity politics, adding what Democrats really need is more masculine candidate and a focus on the white working class. Considering that the white working class makes up the vast majority of the country, he wasn't wrong.
All right. So,
I mean, what do you think is going to happen if you tell a construction worker he's a deplorable because he doesn't want a woman in office?
He's going to give you the finger, spit in your face, and say, "Fuck you, I'm a deplorable."
And probably hit you with a 2x4 on the way out.
The thing that I will agree with this. There, and then, like I stated this a little bit before, there were people who like why must we add the modifier? God, I can't speak. White to the working class. There are some people who are hypocrites within themselves.
Right.
I feel like this article is really just like taking small few examples and just applying it to everybody. But hey, it's not what they do all the time, right?
Right. No, I'm actually with you on that. There's really no need to add white to working class, because the working class is really just the vast majority of the country. And if you want to appeal to the working class, then you'll appeal to the working class as a whole, because it doesn't matter what color you are. If you're working class, you're working class.
Yeah.
This is the most pernicious form of identity politics of all. Identity politics for me, but not for thee. Congratulations. You are a hypocrite.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. And it's just kind of where, like, I feel like this entire article is It's just plain water batteries. And
So what made me vote
Yeah.
for Trump? If I can just interject this into the show. So what made me fucking vote for Trump, honestly, was when my professor was going on and on about unconscious bias, and I'm like, bitch, that doesn't exist. And then Clinton says the same thing. I'm like, oh no. I was gonna do I've got a fucking video planned on how unconscious bias doesn't exist, but that's
I'd like to hear this.
the thing.
But yeah,
It's
I do-
purely from a
I
psychological
didn't-
thing.
I'll go ahead and say this. I didn't vote for Clinton because Clinton's a fucking criminal, and anybody who's been read in on security clearance knows that.
I live in a blue state, blue state.
Well, I mean,
I didn't like Trump and I didn't like Hillary, so I voted for myself.
Yeah,
That's perfectly acceptable.
anybody who's been read in on security clearance of any level knows that.
Admittedly, the big reason I didn't vote for Clinton was she was like, we're going to put a no-fly zone over Syria, and the generals were like, please, no, don't do that. Please, no. I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah,
All right.
no. Trying to put a no-fly zone over Syria would have definitely started World War III.
There was a ton of issues with that whole election. But we are getting off topic.
Back
Yeah,
to
we
the
are
article.
getting off topic.
But
Scaling
what
things
is
back.
on topic, which is kind of hilarious, is the next article, which is
That's a good idea.
job interviews. The job interviews, because I feel like this is a good transition to that one.
All right, go ahead and give me the link.
Momentito, por favor. Not that one. Where is it? Here we go. Morty!
I can't
There we
help
go.
you, dude.
There we go.
So what I think is interesting, since we've been talking about racial preferences and biases and all of that kind of stuff and affirmative action, and then we come over here to the New York Times. Are we there yet?
Yep, I've got it up.
Okay.
I have not got it up because I don't have the link to it.
It's in the group. I'm going to relink
Is
it
it?
to you.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh,
Okay.
that one. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. I'm just blind.
We all have our faults.
I will throw things at you. They might not reach, but I'll throw them. You live west of me, right?
Correct.
There, I threw something.
Well.
All right, Paul, I think we should go ahead and let you lead this one.
Me?
And scroll down to the article start.
All right. So this is a article by Catherine Zaleski. It's called Job Interviews Without Gender. So she writes, I am the co-founder of a startup that helps companies with their efforts to hire more women. In the fall, in a meeting with potential clients in San Francisco Bay Area, I became aware of a dangerous trend. Employers are turning to tactics that mask the gender of the candidates that they interview. Oh, how it's so sweet to hear someone turning around and being like, wait, no, the thing that we want isn't actually working. Removing the names
Nice.
from the resumes and altering the voices on the phone calls, for example. This is with the hope that it will offer a quick fix to the diversity failures.
Wait a second.
Oh, that's fucking dishonest as hell.
Hey, no, hang on a second.
This
They
is
actually
exactly what-
they actually did this in Australia and admitted that it didn't fucking work because it actually did the exact opposite of what they wanted. They were hiring more men than women.
I know, but it's hilarious in my opinion because, in my opinion, I actually don't have any issue with hiding the gender.
No, I don't have a
don't
problem with
see
it
it.
either.
I don't see that being an issue. I do think it's kind of funny that she writes, I became aware of a dangerous trend. This is
Isn't that what
exactly
they were
what you
asking
want.
for, though?
Yeah. This is exactly what you want. You don't want gender being involved in the hiring.
I mean, I've worked enough restaurant jobs to know that I'm just like, okay, I don't care who the fuck is working with me. Can you keep up? I've worked with competent men and competent women.
I wouldn't be able to work. I wouldn't be able to keep up with you. I can't. No, I work at my pace and no one else's.
Well, that's how I got in, and my fucking company loved me for that. But my point is, like, I've had good male coworkers and good female coworkers. I don't give a shit. Can they get along with me? Can they work at my pace, which is really relaxed in comparison? It's just, it's one of those things where it's like, so my big thing with work was I wanted to be the one person that nobody hated working with.
Oh,
that was my goal.
You're failing that right now because I kind of hate working with you.
Oh,
well, I guess I failed you.
He's still a little salty.
A little bit, yes. I am a little salty over what happened this previous Thursday.
It is our fault.
PUBG.
It is absolutely both of your fault.
I am not going to disagree with that.
I have no excuses.
Y'all listen to this because they're trying to cut it in to make it so that I can't actually describe what happened.
No. Go ahead.
Thursday.
Go forth.
Thursday.
Go forth and conquer, my son.
Thursday morning. We were supposed to have a meeting at 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's how you said PST, right? Pacific Standard.
Correct.
Yep.
Yes,
Correct.
Pacific Standard Time, and that is 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time. I get up early, 15 minutes early, to make sure that I'm here on time so that we can get this thing going. Get the freaking meeting done and over with so that they can go to sleep and I can get ready for the rest of my day. I'm sitting here waiting for 30 damn minutes, and in those 30 damn minutes, I actually noticed that they're playing video games. They're playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
PUBG.
I send Sergeant Buck a message on Discord asking if they remember what time it is, and I send this message and I'm watching him on Twitch start another fucking game.
In our defense,
and there is no defense.
I have no defense. I have no
There
fucking
is
defense.
no defense.
It was a joke. It was a joke defense, but I'll let you keep going.
I'm pretty much done there. I said fuck it and went to bed.
Yeah,
No.
I felt like an ass. I felt like a huge ass when I finally saw your message. I'm like, fuck. Jesus Christ.
I started fucking playing PUBG because I was like, oh, it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'll just kill some time until picnics come on, and then look at the clock. It's like, oh, it's 1:30. Fuck.
Yeah.
The time kind of went away when Nick and Jeff joined. That's what.
Well, that was two separate channels too. So you were with Jeff and I was with Nick, and it's just like, oh no.
We're
so no,
yeah,
that is on us. That is entirely on us.
Yeah.
So
all
salty
right.
as fuck right now.
So I understand that.
let me email you a knife.
Getting back to the article. What we're
I can't fit this knife on my hard drive. Can you email it back to me? Goddamn.
Or an hour and 15 minutes.
These gender masking tools and the related trend of blind hiring have recently been chronicled in the New York Times and Wired, and discussed at tech conferences. One head of talent at a major financial services company told me she's getting up to 5 pitches a week for tools that can mask applicants' gender. My team is regularly told by potential clients in the Fortune 100 that they are already using tools to obscure gender in hiring. Yelp has tried using a voice disguiser on initial interview calls to hide applicants' gender. This is a misguided distraction from the hard work of evaluating and fixing the ways in which their cultures drive out the women who are actually hired. What the
Who's
so literally they are admitting that their manipulation tactics are being subverted by what's actually going to solve the problem that they claim to have.
I mean, my question is, who's there? in which their cultures, who the fuck is there?
The business culture, just like the cultures around the bigger businesses, like, you know, financial, Wall Street, tech industries, all that kind of shit.
I mean,
Basically, this is the one and only surefire way to ensure that gender and race and everything like that is not considered at all in the hiring process. So they actually hire people based on the merits and how well they interview.
Right, and for them to just roll back and, well, for people to be like, wait, no, it's not making it so women's are getting, you know, actually the jobs. No, we gotta stop this, bitch. Listen, like, do you want equality or what?
Yeah,
I'm confused here.
if you want equality, you should make that shit obvious, really.
Yeah, and it for me, it comes down to, like, the way that this is being premised, and like how hard this is being pushed in like other areas, and then for people to start backing out and being like, no,
Like, if I can,
it's not hiring more women's.
if I can admit something here, and this isn't meant to be sexist, I work in kitchens. Women are generally better in the kitchen. That's not a sexist statement. I mean, they have a better eye for detail. They're more organized, more clean. I had a boss who was, I won't say his name, but was a dude. He'd do dishes, and just the dish would be a fucking mess. It'd be like someone came in with a shotgun and cleaned dishes with that. It's like, what the fuck happened? There is chili on the
Loading
ceiling.
with your shotgun shells.
Like, why is there fucking pulled pork and chili on the ceiling? How did that happen? You're a goddamn dishwasher. But it's one of
Getting
those
back to the
things.
article.
Yeah.
I understand the appeal of gender masking for companies that are rightly concerned that bias could be eliminated qualified female candidates, especially in tech roles where women are severely underrepresented. Lo and behold, when they start doing this, they get even more underrepresented because they're not good at it.
I have some. I can speak to this. I really can. When I was in tech school, we took a C++ beer. Please stop. A C programming course. 2 girls in the entire class for a class of 150.
And I think that's less of that's less of that they're bad at it. It's more along the lines.
No, it has nothing to do with, it has nothing to do with qualifications. All the girls at my tech school were art majors. All of them, except for the 2 that were in the fucking design course. But they dropped out pretty quick. Not because they hated it. They weren't interested. It was just one of those cases. They're just like, I don't like being a code monkey. I want to do things that are more free form. I'm like, more fucking power to you. Honestly. Fucking when someone brings up the issue of computer science being a boys' club, I'm like, no. Women just don't join. We don't force them out. They just don't join.
I have known 10 women in my life that actually did coding.
Right.
4 of them enjoyed it. 1 of them was good at it, and the rest did it because it was a job.
So to build on that, did you look at their code?
Their what?
Did you look at their code? What they wrote? Did you look at what they wrote?
Like I said, 3 of them enjoyed it.
Okay.
1 of them was actually good at it, and the
Right.
rest did it because it was a job.
Okay. Because going back to tech school, the 1 or 2 female coders I met had ridiculously structured code, like in a good way. Like, my God, I know exactly what the fuck's going on here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Go ahead, Puff.
I'm in Seattle, I have a little bit of a different, anecdotal evidence here. Like the majority of not the majority, but there is a significantly higher amount of women in the tech industry here because of Microsoft being here. But it's for me when it comes down to these things, it's a lack of wanting to do it, and it's not because women like are different than men in that way. It's just that the appeal isn't there for a lot of different things, and like I think we've all heard this like 10 times to Tuesday. What like what women want and all that kind of stuff, and it just like for me when it comes down to this huge push to have like almost parity between the genders in
That's a
jobs,
mistake.
It's a huge
doesn't
mistake.
make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense.
No, what
Because-
you don't want, what you want is not to strive for parity. What you want is to strive for the best and the people who are most driven to be there. Because
Right.
Yeah.
you can have a guy who is really, really good at code, but if he doesn't care, if he doesn't have any interest, if he doesn't have any drive to be there, then you don't want him because he's going to pull half-assed work.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
going to put in the bare minimum. But then if you
Right.
take someone who may not be as good as that one person, well, we'll just go with the word person for now. If you have this other person who wants to be there, who loves being there, loves their work, has the drive to succeed, takes pride in the work that they do, then they're going to do a better job all around because they're actually going to make sure that the job is done right and done well and done good. I said well, but I see good as a kind of a little different than well.
Close enough.
Yeah, shut up, English major.
Nah.
But yeah, it doesn't matter what gender the person is. If they're good at the job and they love the job, then they're going to do better than someone who's amazing at the job but has no drive to do the job.
That's
Make
the big
sense?
thing. Yep. That makes perfect sense.
Alright.
That was me fucking in restaurants. I mean, really.
I'm looking over this, and it's the rest of this article, and it's all just a great big fucking whinge over it.
Yeah, and it's
So let's move on to the next topic, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all. So our next topic is actually kind of a more funny one. It is the Breitbart article that we found. Got that?
I gotta pull that up real quick. Because
Ah.
There it
And
is.
this one, I just
There we go.
So hilarious.
Oh,
Now,
fuck
I
off.
don't trust Breitbart. I'm just gonna put that out there. From my experience, they're just really weird. But this was too funny to not talk about. And Pig, did you find this by like any other source?
No, I just pulled this one up because the headline is what grabbed me.
Yeah. So, court offers. Go ahead.
Court orders Antifa organizer to pay $11,000 for filing frivolous restraining order, and you have pictured
fucking
Yvette
Yvette
Filarka
Filarka.
of BAM by any means necessary.
With her
And it's-
giant microphone trying to be bigger than she really is on a constant basis.
This is how tall is this woman? What,
Oh,
4'3"?
She's like 4 foot.
She has 100%
She's
Napoleon syndrome.
She's a
100%.
shouty.
Yeah.
It's like
100%.
every single time I see this woman, I'm always reminded of one clip that I saw where she was freaking out saying, "Get not on our streets," and she's like, it was almost comical, almost.
She just
And
kind of
she was
fucking.
pushing him.
Punching and punching and punching this guy, and this guy is just looking at this police officer, say, "Sir, can you do something about this?" He's not even affected by her punching him as hard as she can.
Yeah, and then
It's
the
just-
rest of
it's
fucking cabal
hilarious.
shows up. It's just like, oh fuck, this is a beating now.
Yeah. Like when he tripped, all of a sudden, then the cops
Yeah.
responded.
Suddenly
Oh wait,
the
hold
cops are
on.
like, oh, get him.
Yeah. So, in a
Christ
court
alike.
in California,
Going down.
a court in California has ordered Antifa organizer Yvette Falarca. I don't know. I've been saying her name for the past hour. Yvette Falarca to pay
in French.
$11,000 after she filed a fraudulent restraining order against a former Berkeley College Republican president, Troy Ward. In 2017, Antifa organizer Yvette Falarca filed. They're just repeating themselves.
Yeah.
3 times order against former U.S. Berkeley College Republican President Troy Ward, citing 2 alleged instances of harassment. Warden's attorney alleges that Falarca's made up 2 false accusations of harassment against him. He claims that Falarca used 2 instances in which Warden made eye contact with her on campus as a basis for the restraining order.
Fucking Christ. My first problem is you're suing a goddamn college student.
Is it a college student? Yeah, okay, I can see
College
that.
Republican.
Is-
So
isn't
she's a
she-
college student. She is not. She's a middle school teacher.
Yeah. He looked at me.
I don't even know how to respond to that. Making eye contact with her on
somehow
campus.
rape?
Why do I just instantly think of Anita Sarkeesian?
Because she
Yeah,
made eye
garbage
contact.
human.
Garbage human with making eye contact and seeing like, oh my god, I know that guy. Now, a California court has ordered Falarca to pay $11,000 fine for filing a frivolous lawsuit. The
Good.
funds will go directly to covering Warden's attorney fees. In a press release, attorney Harmeet Dillon suggested that the fine signals that Antifa can't use the courts to silence their political opponents. Falarca and her fellow travelers in BAM, by any means necessary, /Antifa, need to learn that the California courts are not their personal plaything to use and abuse at will by filing baseless and vexatious lawsuits, she said in the release. By ruling that she did not demonstrate good faith in filing the restraining order, the court recognized the frivolous nature of Falarca's actions. Warden's attorney, Mark Muser, pretty sure that Mark Muser guy is like BAM's like personal attack dog attorney.
Only to attack dog attorney.
The award of attorney fees should send a strong signal that she cannot abuse the court system to silence speech.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry, Warden's attorney.
What, yeah, okay. I'm like, what the fuck? Her own attorney's like arguing against her? What the fuck?
Dillon mentions that Falarca has brought unnecessary lawsuits to the court system twice in the past 2 months. This marks the second time in 2 months that Falarca and her lawyers have been ordered by an area court to pay the attorney fees of their opponents for filing legally and factually unsupported claims in court. Dillon added, true victims of harassment, stalking, assault need the courts to be available to them as a priority, not clogged with fabricated claims pursued in bad faith. In February 2017, Fox News interview, Falarca defended the violence that took place in UC Berkeley campus earlier that month. Let's not play that video.
Yeah, I think we've all
Let's
seen
not
that
say
video.
we did.
But this is the second time.
Yeah,
The
apparently
second time she's done this.
in
like
the
that,
last that's just in the last 2 months. They didn't say about previous months.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Yvette Falarca's huge
She
amount
even-
of Napoleon
she-
syndrome.
She is beyond
she
neurotic,
even-
for Christ's sake.
She even has her own students going in and she, oh my god, this is
The kicker is, they're not like freshmen or sophomores. They're fucking middle school students advocating for her. Fucking middle school. God
where
damn.
does she find the time between being an instructor in middle school and an activist, quote unquote? I'll be nice.
Yeah, it's this woman is just it's
Mental?
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny because, you know, we have a example of just completely ridiculous people at Antifa, but at the same time, it's like I feel like eventually she's going to get away with something. Like, I mean, like, you see the
No.
videos.
Hey, hang. You say eventually. She's been getting away with quite a couple of years now already. It's starting to really start catching up to them. And that's the thing is, like, Antifa has been getting away with a lot of shit. And it's just in the last 6 months where it's been starting to catch up to them and people have started to catch on.
It's
I think everything that's needed to be said has been said, I think.
I agree. So I say we move on to our next article, which is a downer, a huge downer. This is the just repost. There, I reposted it for you, Buck.
Is this the afterbirth?
Yep.
Mm. All right, Buck, you're leading this one.
Yeah, because I would murder like somebody. I don't know.
Sergeant Buck, are you there?
We're good now.
Sergeant Buck. There you
I
go.
made a
What
mistake.
happened?
I
Well,
muted myself
obviously,
to
what'd you do?
type some shit and We're
Read the
good.
fucking article.
as you say, Daddy. Yeah. Well then. All right. Just when you thought the religious right couldn't get any crazier with its personhood amendments and its attacks on contraception, here comes the academic left with an even crazier idea. After-birth abortion. No, I didn't make this up. Partial birth abortion is a term invented by pro-lifers. But after-birth abortion is a term invented by two philosophers, Alberto Italiano and Francesca Spanisciano. In the Journal of Medical Ethics, they propose, oh dear.
All right. When circumstances occur after birth, such as that they would be justified abortion, would have a justified abortion, what we called an after-birth abortion should be permissible. We propose to call this practice after-birth abortion, rather than. You guys have been saying that word all day.
Infanticide?
Infanticide. Okay. To emphasize that the moral status of the individual killed is comparable with that of a fetus, rather than that of a child. Therefore, we claim that killing a newborn could be ethnically permissible in all circumstances where abortion should be. Such circumstances include a case where a newborn has the potential to have an have an at least acceptable life, but the well-being of the family is at risk. All right, so I'm gonna post something here.
Suicide is painless. It brings some. Jesus Christ.
So I am neither pro-life nor pro-choice.
Hang on a second. I gotta check to make sure my brains aren't freaking leaking out of my ears really quick.
Christ.
What the fuck?
I'm
What
kind of
the fuck?
Oh my god. I'm kind of a woke centrist on this topic, but in the sense of I draw the line at 30 days.
I like non-joking. I draw the line at the second semester. Trimester. Thank you. I don't believe that abortion should never be acceptable, but at the same time, I don't that everyone should just automatically have access to it no matter what.
So, I do believe it's a necessary evil, but it has to have some caveats.
Exactly.
Some pretty strict caveats.
I believe
one of them being, if I can just put this out there, since it takes two people to make a baby, the father and mother have to agree.
Okay, so here's the thing. To a point, I believe that abortion at the sole discretion of the mother is acceptable.
Right.
To a degree. So, in the first months, in the first trimester, it is acceptable for the decision to rest solely on the mother. When the child is developed enough to where features are starting to form, such as individual hands and fingers, toes, the heart's beating strongly, there's neural activity. When the child is developed enough for that, that's when the father's choice should start being taken into consideration. And once it reaches the third trimester, abortion, in my opinion, should not be allowed, because once the fetus reaches, I kept saying child, once the fetus reaches that stage, it is technically capable of living outside of the mother's body.
Yeah. And
that seems fair to me.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I've honestly been putting a lot of thought into this in the last couple of months, but that's just how I feel about it. You know,
I mean,
barring some massive complication that would either leave the child in a state where life is pure misery, or it would endanger the life of the mother. There it is.
Right.
Yeah. No,
and
if it endangers the mother, then go for it.
Absolutely.
You know, it's one of those things where it's like preservation of human life, one or the other.
Yeah, and for me, I'm also a little bit of an asshole, and thank you. I'm a little bit of an asshole in a lot of ways, so I can see how a child born out of or conceived out of wedlock can be something that is just too much.
Well, no, here's the thing with that one. Like, if a woman becomes pregnant because of reasons, and she's not married to the father, she doesn't have to name the father. She doesn't have to include him in on.
Right, no, I just mean...
Once she does, then he should also have say in whether an abortion takes place after the first trimester. That's how I see it. If she doesn't want to name him as the father, then she doesn't have to. But
so
there it is. If she does, then she's automatically trying to assign responsibility to him for the child, then he should have a say in whether the child lives or not.
Right. And
I
that
can agree
kind
with
of
that. Yeah.
well, that builds into my whole argument as to why an abortion should be a two-party acceptance. Let's say, like,
Man,
man-
we're
man
hitting all
wife.
the controversial topics.
Oh, yeah.
aren't we?
We
Getting
kind of
fried.
are.
But so okay, so like a friend and I, like, he had a girlfriend. She got knocked up, and she wouldn't tell him whether or not the baby was his. All right, fine. He vowed to raise the kid as his own, regardless of who the father was. He wanted to be loyal. And then he and I go off on vacation for a few days to Peru, and he comes back to find his girlfriend has aborted the child, and he's fucking crestfallen over it. Like, he lost his job, all this stuff. He was fucking he's fucking broken over it. I mean, that's anecdotal, but it just I can't.
So you want anecdotal? I'll give you something.
Something literal. Okay, lay it on me.
My ex-wife,
Okay.
when she, during the pregnancy of my daughter, she would use abortion as a weapon against me. If we were in an argument,
That's
she
the wrong-
would threaten me
that's the
with
wrong way to
abortion.
go about it.
And that
Emotional
is-
manipulation is fucking terrible.
is the biggest
It's sleazy.
influencer on how I see things. It's like, up until a point, it should just be the mother's choice,
Right.
right? But once it gets to that point and beyond that point, that's when it should be a choice of both the parents.
And that's where I'm with him, honestly, because the fucking the shitty thing is with his girlfriend is she waited until he was out of the country to do the abortion. Like, he said, I don't care, I'll raise the kid as my own, and she went, well, fuck you, I'm getting rid of it. It's like, but
Yeah, and that's another thing that brings up another part. Like, I feel that even if it gets to the point where she doesn't want the kid, but he does, and it's past that 3-month mark, then she can sign legal documents, legal binding documents that say that she does not want to be the sole parent of this child. She does not want to be the parent of this child, and then sign like rights to the child over to the father. I think that should be a thing, because there are plenty of moms out there who have put their kid up for adoption as soon as it was born,
right, I'm listening.
and the father wasn't able to say anything about it because she had named him as the father. It was in a state where she could do that and the father would have no say. And there are a couple of states like that where the mom can put the kid up for adoption as soon as the baby's dad can't say shit about it, either because they're not married, or B, she refused to put him on the birth certificate even though he's been named as the father. It's one of the big arguments of the pro-life or the pro-choice thing is my body, my rights. Sure, okay, but
it technically still is the guy's kid.
what about the father's rights?
Yeah. I guess that's my thing
This
is
argument keeps going back and forth about her rights this, her rights that, but what about his rights? What about the father's rights? What about his rights to be a parent to his child?
It's her rights in a rape case, sure, but
well, yeah, a rape case, that's completely different.
Yeah,
she
scenario.
didn't exactly be she wasn't exactly a willing participant in the act of creation, right?
And that's where I'm for abortion being kind of a way out of that, because like, oh, this guy was being a fucking cunt.
Well, it is. It absolutely already is a way out of it.
But when someone's like, "Oh, I just got an abortion because I didn't want the kid," I'm like, "What? Why'd you have fucking unprotected sex then?
Well, it really it's not even the unprotected sex thing. Like, shit happens.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So
I know.
okay.
Shit happens, and it's not none of my business what a person or a couple decide. But I believe that in cases where the two parties are affected, then both parties should have a say in what's going on.
Yes, I agree there. That
you know, I abstain from having an opinion on the whole pro-life, pro-choice debate.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
because it's way too nuanced, way too situational. It's not as they take things to an extreme that doesn't need to be there, and it's way too they try to create a dichotomy, which isn't.
Sorry. Just
go ahead, Buck.
All I will say is it takes two people to make a baby, so why is it one person's right to choose? That's it.
And that's why I
have
developed the opinion that I have. You know, within the first couple of months, sure. I mean, it's not even. It's you know, my family has a couple of different views on it, depending on who you ask. You know, my mom, she's of the opinion that life is formed at conception. You know, and then I have cousins who think that, you know, it's not technically life until the child leaves the body, until birth and whatnot, and it's just it's an incredibly sensitive topic to talk about, no matter who you're talking to, whether they're pro-life or pro-choice.
Right.
But it still comes back to, you know, there are two people involved in the situation. It's not just the one. So
yeah, and the complete lack of just even respect for a father to like even have a say in what happens is kind of devastating.
It's irresponsible in my opinion. Not in the sense of the father absolving himself of responsibility, just being like, oh, he has no say. It's like, but he wants to say yes. Like,
it's his kid. That's why it's. Go ahead.
Just look at Nick's situation with his kid. He and his wife are trying to get off of child support, and the state's like, no. But they've agreed that he doesn't have to pay fucking child support. It's kind of a different case, but my point's not really applying. God damn it!
You're good, but I feel like we should move on to another topic because this is just fucking depressing. Cause it is.
Oh, infanticide will be fun. What are you talking about?
It is so bogged down in bullshit and like having to dive into certain thoughts about like situations that you don't want to think about. That for me, it puts me in a position where I'm thinking about things that I'm just like,
you're not really ready to think about. Yeah.
And
I'm there. Like, I'm there with you. I'm there with you, fam.
There's a lot to it. It's not just like one. Like you can't boil it down to like one specific thing. There's so much to the abortion debate that it's too real, I guess I would say. But we do have another video.
Another one is good.
Another topic, article, Shalom, and that is okay. It's not there, but I do have it marked here, so I'll just send it back to you guys. Buck, if you would like to pull that one up.
Pulling up now. He doesn't that fucking gay. What the fuck's wrong with you? Fucking Milo.
That is probably one of the most amusing screenshots.
Not in his case, it ain't.
No, I guess not. Alright, so editor's notes for Milo Yiannopoulos' canceled book have been revealed, and it's worse than you imagined. By Christian Wilson 10 days ago. As the go ahead with the introduction to the article. I know you were
I was really entertained with this bullshit. It is fucking hilarious. Now, but I can't say much because I haven't read the book. Pig, you have.
I have read the book, and it's an interesting read. It is definitely an interesting read. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and read it again because I don't really remember it as well as I would have liked. He really, in the book, he really starts talking about he's trying to teach you how to fight the left by being, well, technically an edgelord.
Yeah, and like but I would love to see what would happen if you were read it with the editor's notes. Because
yeah, I think I might if I can actually get a hold of the editor.
At least Shapiro's fucking principled. That's all I have to say.
As the feud between white nationalist Milo Yiannopoulos, I'm sorry, he's not a white nationalist.
Like even there are some notes within the book that never mind. Go ahead.
As the feud between white nationalist Milo Yiannopoulos, former book publishers, heats up, documents pertaining to Yiannopoulos' lawsuit against Simon & Schuster have brought the internet to its knees with laughter. The book made me laugh a couple of times. Yiannopoulos' book, Dangerous, was originally scheduled to be released by Simon & Schuster in print Threshold Editions in June 2017, but the publisher canceled the book in February 2017 in the wake of Yiannopoulos' controversial comments about inappropriate relationships between grown men and children. I'm not even going to get into that debate.
We're
not even going to get into that.
Move on. We've all had it. Move on.
Yep.
In July, Yiannopoulos filed a $10 million lawsuit against Simon & Schuster alleging a breach of contract. Now, documents from the lawsuit have surfaced, and among these papers is a full-length copy of Yiannopoulos' manuscript with notes from his editor, Threshold editorial director Mitchell Ivers. While Ivers comments on the former Breitbart news editor's canceled book, Dangerous, will definitely provide plenty of laughs for those who revel in the Schadenfreude of Yiannopoulos' situation. Shut up. The court documents also reveal that Ivers is not just another person exasperated with his brand of thinking. Ivers' comments were designed to make Dangerous into the best, most convincing book it could be for the sake of the white nationalist movement.
Christ.
Yes, this is part of Ivers' job as editors, but it's still a little frightening. And we can tell that this Christian Wilson isn't biased at all.
All right. So some fantastic little notes before you keep going on that the editor had made. One of them was, I will not accept a manuscript that labels an entire class of people as mentally ill. Let's leave cuck out of this. This is not at the time for this is not the time or place for another black dick joke.
The guy obviously doesn't know Milo
at all.
Yiannopoulos.
No. He's just like one of them. He's just like, delete this entire chapter. The book is better overall without hitting these ugly people notes in the chapter is better overall. Deleting this one. He keeps going. There was one of the statements was
Jesus, there are so many pictures of Sarah May tweets.
reading
Holy
them aloud.
fuck.
All this pop psychology is hogwash. You can't say ugly people are drawn to the left. Have you ever seen people at a Trump rally? Some of these notes are ridiculous. Let's leave fecal waste analogies out of this chapter. Stick with virgins. Perverts is unnecessary.
Now, where was I?
Yeah, so keep going.
If you have no idea who Milo Yiannopoulos even is, I don't really know anybody who doesn't. Here's a little backstory. Yiannopoulos made a name for himself in the so-called alt-right movement with his transphobic, ableist, anti-Semitic, sexist, Islamophobic, racist, and often homophobic rhetoric. Okay, first, when did he ever say anything racist? And when did he ever say anything anti-Semitic?
And also, he has said something homophobic. Ugh, delete. One of them was ugh, delete.
Islamophobic, racist, and homophobic. He's fucking gay. He just got married to a man.
True, but he does have some interesting points on lesbians.
He does, and has drawn additional comments made about inappropriate relationships with grown men and
again, skipping that
because we've all had that debate. He regularly attempts to deflect these criticisms by saying that he can't possibly be anti-Semitic, racist, or homophobic because he was raised Jewish and has a black husband. Attempts to deflect? This is not attempts to deflect. This is downright
it's just
debunking. He's Jewish. Well, he's Catholic, but he's Jewish. And he is incredibly attracted to black penis.
yeah, he is, and he makes that comment all the time.
I forget. Did he ever admit to being a top or bottom?
Being what?
Being a top or bottom?
I don't know. I actually haven't heard the answer to that question.
I mean, does he take the dick or does he give the dick?
Oh, he probably takes it.
I'm pretty sure he does.
He drools over black penises. He probably takes it.
Okay. Over the years, Yiannopoulos has been involved in a number of high-profile internet attacks on women. He was a leading figure in the Gamergate movement. I wasn't around for the Gamergate movement. Was he really a leading figure?
Yeah, he was. He took on it after Alec Baldwin coined the phrase, and then later on he just jumped on it.
And later instigated the misogynoir dogpile on Ghostbusters actress Leslie. I'm sorry, but
he made a slight comment that she looked like an ape, and then he moved on with his life.
He made a slight comment that she looked like a man.
Oh man! Oh, that's much less worse than I originally thought it was. I thought he said ape.
He did both.
Oh, he did both. Oh,
well, he implied apish features, but he did blatantly say that Leslie Jones looked like a man. And if correct me if I'm mistaken, but isn't Leslie Jones a male to female transsexual?
Oh no, that's a woman.
It's a woman to man transsexual?
It's a woman, just a woman.
Just a woman? I could have swore that Leslie Jones was a trans.
Shit.
I might be wrong.
Google it.
I might be wrong. I could have swore I heard it somewhere. And if I am wrong, I apologize. You do have some mannish hands, though. I swear to God, you could crush my head with that one of those hands.
All right, you're not the only person who's thought this.
All right. So when Yiannopoulos sold Dangerous to Threshold Edition for $250,000, people were no, they were not justifiably outraged. They wanted to buy it. He sold it. The Simon & Schuster imprint is well known for publishing an arsenal of conservative pundits. As bustle writer Matty Foley put it, including figures like Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, Donald Trump, Dick Cheney, and Bobby Jindal. I did say that right, Jindal. But the fact that Yiannopoulos landed his six-figure deal just after Twitter perma-banned him for harassing Leslie Jones. How many tweets did he make about Leslie Jones?
I was under the impression it was just one.
I think he made at least like 2 or 3. Made the Dangerous acquirement feel a whole lot like a pat on the back. I'm sorry, but so? I mean, someone wanted to buy his manuscript, so he sold his manuscript. Oh, get fucked. And then there's a screenshot of...
Yeah, so a lot of the extra stuff, it just... Yeah, those screenshots are all of the editor's notes. It's just really, really.
No, some of
funny.
these. So you have the Twitter Jason Pinter. Those are legal documents that have stuff part of the notes. I'm not even going to click on the damn thing, but.
Buck, are you still alive? Buck?
Sergeant Buck. Sergeant Buck. Buck.
Hey, Buck.
I mean, if you had to go pee, you could have just said you were going to go pee. I'm a little concerned here because, you know, the show is only supposed to go for another... Well, it was supposed to end like 3 minutes ago, but you know what? We're going to finish this article, damn it. Where the hell did that... Oh, there it is. Stupid thing. Damn it. Moving on. He'll if he's there, he'll come back. He might have just accidentally muted himself. As you might expect, Simon & Schuster's decision to publish Yiannopoulos' book prompted a swift response from the literary community. Roxane Gay pulled her forthcoming book How to Be Heard from Simon & Schuster imprint TED Books. And 160 children's book authors, illustrators signed an open letter condemning the publishers for giving Yiannopoulos hate speech an outlet. In response to the backlash, Simon & Schuster rescinded its $250,000 advance and canceled Dangerous, which brings us to where we are today. Thank you, Liviana. I don't know where I don't know where I heard it from. Yeah, I will admit that I was wrong, and I apologize for being wrong, I guess.
When I googled is Leslie Jones trans? Guess what the third link was?
What?
It was a link to Sean Head's Twitter, where she responded to someone saying she's black and trans, double whammy. She says Leslie Jones isn't trans. She's just very strong.
She's just very mannish. Well, you know what? I've known mannish women before, and that's okay. Where was I? Schuster rescinded as 200. Boom. See that right there. Liviana, philosopher.
Agrees with you.
Crap, I got distracted by the chat. Dangerous. There I am. $250,000 advance brings us to where we are today, with Yiannopoulos in the process of suing his former publisher after self-publishing his book. And good on him, I actually enjoyed reading his book. Because Yiannopoulos' Dangerous manuscript is part of his case against Simon and Schuster, comments for his editor at Threshold are freely available online. Ivers appears to grow more frustrated with Yiannopoulos' antics as the manuscript wears on, as you can see from Sarah May's Twitter thread below. And I'm just going to skip all the way through Sarah May's Twitter feed.
It's just her commenting
It's
on.
just her commenting on it. As both May and Flavia point out, however, Ivers does not appear so much interested in making Dangerous a lesson as in giving it a more mainstream appeal. Was bad, so bad that even his editor turned on caps lock. Well, so what I can tell here is that they're most outraged by the simple fact that they would give him a chance in the first place. I mean, he's self-published. He's done. He's made money off of this, and I actually think it's something that's worth reading if you can borrow it from a friend. Dreadabel, thank you. I will actually go ahead and take that. Sorry for not being
Good enough there, my dude.
because, you know, it's sad, but more often than not, I am right. People just don't want to admit it. But when I am wrong, I am not above admitting it. When the hell is Sergeant Buck going to come back? What the fuck happened? God, if I had his phone number, I'd be calling him right fucking now, but he still hasn't given it to me. We don't freaking know each other that well yet.
I love it. I love it. Don't use trainees here. It just derails your argument. And no, that's not the point. Not here. I'm so triggered. I hate that word, but I'm gonna use it. Oh man.
I'm just thinking about the whole phrase, don't apologize for being wrong, apologize for not being right. I guess the only difference between that is the wording of it. Because if you're not right, then you're wrong, but if you're not wrong, then you're right. So what the fuck? Excuse me. God. Where the hell is Buck?
I'm not sure.
This motherfucker has got this stream that's continuing on.
Did he get too drunk?
I don't know. I don't think so. I've never known him to get so drunk that he can't finish the stream.
Not worth the weak joke. Dumb joke. Not another black dick joke. Just all these comments.
God, if I could, I would go ahead and say goodnight and
Yeah, we
all
can't
on
end the
Sergeant
stream.
Buck. So we
can't
might as well
even
just
do
sit
anything.
here and make dick jokes about Milo Yiannopoulos wanting Leslie Jones to be trans because Leslie Jones is black and she's obviously would have a big ass dick if she was a man.
I'm not entirely sure about that.
I am very certain of that. I will go ahead and say this now. Your penis is usually proportional to the size of the man. Usually.
Really?
Yeah, actually, I've seen a couple of scientific studies actually pertaining to it. And it's like there's actually a couple of things that you could find online, infographics that actually talk about dick size in different parts of the world. Yeah, and it's really proportional. For the most part, it's proportional to the size of the person. Average penis size for the white male is between
Demonetized.
5. We're not monetized in the first place. At between 5 and 6 inches for the average man across the entire world. And you have the very rare one either side of the spectrum, but for the most part, it seems to fall between those two sizes. And then you start going into the irrelevance of the penis being larger than 7 inches, because according to medical texts, the vagina is only about 6 inches deep. So anything more than 6 inches is a waste. It's all, I guess, girth. It's like that's when girth gets like completely and utterly important to the whole situation.
I mean, I would feel like there would be a few girls that might disagree with you on that.
And you know what? They are free to disagree on that. It's I don't take penis for a living.
It's true. It's true. It's true. You're not the recipient, so.
Yeah, I'm not the recipient, so it's not really up to me.
Either way, it's going in somewhere. I was once talking to this feminist chick in high school. I don't know why she started going on a rant about, and I don't know if this is completely true. But she started going on a rant about like people wanting tight pussies simply because they don't exist. Apparently, like,
I beg to differ.
Vagina, hold on. The vagina is only tight, or the vagina opens when it becomes aroused. So, like, if you're having sex with a chick and it's like still closed off. This was her comment. I don't know anything about this, but I was like, she just went on a rant about this.
You don't know anything about having sex with a woman? Is that what you just said?
No. I don't know very much about the anatomy of what happens with the vagina when it becomes aroused. That's what I'm talking about.
So, if I'm remembering correctly, I really wish we had a woman in the stream right now to correct me. If I'm remembering correctly, the vagina lengthens and the walls, the muscles, they start engorging with blood.
So kind of like the same thing with the penis.
Basically. And
that's only when it becomes aroused.
And yes, it's only when the body
I think she was leading to a point that if you're having sex with a girl with a really, really tight pussy, that it's rape. I think that's the point that she was trying to lead to, because she wasn't aroused, therefore she didn't like it.
No, I'd have to say that she does not understand anatomy.
I completely understand that. It was just a really fucking weird conversation that I was just sitting there. I don't even remember what the fuck we were talking about, but she just started ranting about it for no fucking reason. It was just this point where I'm like, what? Oh, it's the clitoris that becomes engorged with blood.
Yeah,
Okay.
Don't the vaginal walls also become engorged because of the muscles within them. You know, it's I can't remember where I read it. Medical text talking about the sexuality differences in sexuality between men and women. The clitoris is made of the same tissue as the penis is, and the labials, the labia are made from the same tissue as the scrotum is, and both engorge with blood. The defining difference is that the vagina exists in the woman, and it's a tube of circular muscles. You know how the sphincters within the body, they're a muscle that is just basically in a circle. You have that, except it's going throughout the entire length of the vagina, and it
Okay, she was correct.
it also engorges with blood, and that's where the vaginal secretions come from, because there's no actual glands that excrete the fluids within. I don't know. That was the impression that I was given in the text that I read.
Interesting. Biology with pig.
Hey, they don't call me Smart Pig for no reason. Alright, they don't call me Smart Pig. I call me Smart Pig. Shut up.
I actually never took a biology class.
Kegel, so Kegel exercises, they're the Kegel muscles are the muscles that attach to the pelvic floor, and to
Why would we do that?
no. It's like, you know how when you're it, like when you really have to take a shit or a piss and you're holding it in,
Yeah.
that squeezing that you do,
Right.
it's the same thing with women. From my understanding, of course, I could be flat out wrong, but from my understanding, the same thing that we do to not piss ourselves or shit ourselves is how they would, like, how women would contract. And they have these exercises called Kegel exercises,
Right.
where they
ball.
exercise those muscles. And in exercising those muscles, they actually tighten the vaginal walls and they assert more control over how much pressure they put on the penis during intercourse.
Right.
Where the
And
fuck is Sergeant Buck?
I don't know, but we're right now having a conversation about the anatomy of the penis and the vagina. This is fucking weird, but all right.
Yeah.
No, like, just what?
No, it's just think about it though. It's like what is the biggest difference between a male and a female body?
Prostate.
The fact that there's an opening.
Well, yeah.
So all of the flesh is exactly the same. It's just configured differently. Right? You have shit, I don't even know where I was going. Where the fuck is Sergeant?
I don't know, like, tits.
Let's just start spamming him in chat.
I'm getting, all right, I am getting a little bit flustered. I understand this. I'm okay with that.
But you're having fun.
I am. Half of the reason why I'm getting flustered is because I know nothing about this conversation. I don't know. I never took a biology class, which means that there is a shit ton of stuff that I just am so lost on.
So
And
I'm what you would call a jack of all trades. I know a little bit about a lot of things. And that little bit is enough for me to know that I don't know jack shit about those things. God damn, where the fuck is he? What happened? I hope he didn't get like jacked or isn't.
I feel like the clitoris is not an developed dick.
It's made of the same tissue. It
Yeah.
also performs a little bit of the same function, as in it has the highest concentration of nerves in the human body. You know, for the man, it is the head of the penis. For women, it's the clitoris, which is why you should never neglect it.
Oh no, I know that. I know that. Yeah, now I'm actually.
Yeah, we've been pinging him in Discord
like
for the
have-
past 5 or 10 minutes. He's
We can't-
not responding, and I don't understand why. And we're just gonna stick around until he comes back, and if he does, or else the stream just kind of turns off.
we can't end the stream because we don't have control over it.
It's kind of funny.
So right now we're just talking about clitorises and penises and vaginas.
I'm gonna see if I can't DM him on Twitter. In fact, see if I can't get his attention on that, because I hope to God he didn't pass out. How the hell would he have passed out on 3 beers? So now let's just go ahead and start talking shit about Sergeant Buck, the freaking grammar Nazi. What the where the hell is this guy? You just got off of work and this is what... Well, yeah, because the show is technically over.
Yeah, it was supposed to be over.
We've gone
23 minutes
through
ago.
we've gone through all of the topics that we've normally would have gone through. Where the fuck is Sergeant Buck on this damn thing?
He's like, so it's hilarious because I can see him. He's right fucking here in the chat.
Yeah, he's in
like-
there, but
Hold on, I'm gonna do something.
I'm waiting. I'm all alone. There's no one here. Hide me. Oh my god. Why are there 8 people watching just me and Poveros talk about shit that he doesn't know? Where the fuck? Where did he go? There he is.
No, that's me.
You're back.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
I
I'm
tried to-
saying. There he is.
Oh, sorry. I tried to privately call him, to see if that would get his attention.
No
And-
dice.
No, he didn't pick up. That probably came through on the stream though, of the ring sound.
Might have. It might have. I don't know. It's weird. I'm kind of concerned.
You and me both.
I mean, like, what did he say anything before he just?
No, he didn't. Like, we went to the fucking Milo article, and then all of a sudden he just stopped talking.
I mean, I could understand if he. No, there was a book published in 1970 called Women and Their Bodies, which was done by the Boston Women's Health Collective, about 200 pages, and you should be able to find a PDF somewhere. I will actually write that down and look it up, because I'm always interested in reading things.
Here's my thing. I'm thinking, right? It almost sounds like this would be a good reference for how to get better at oral. Just a little bit. That's almost what she sounds like. She's putting that out there for. She's like, guys, get better at oral. I can tell that you guys are terrible at. I am not, in fact. But I could. That's what it sounds like she's saying at this point.
Well, maybe you are terrible. I mean, I've
I
never
assure
had
you,
any
Pig.
complaints,
I,
but
I assure you, Pig.
you know, I would not be ashamed to admit that I've not always been skilled at the things that I do. I had to learn at some point when I was, like 15 years ago. But
like,
where the fuck is Sergeant Buck? But yeah, I will actually take a look at women's to get better at cunnilingus, you need to let a woman teach you.
oh yeah, One of the best teachers.
Yeah.
One of the best teachers you can have is the girl that you're going down on. I will agree with that.
You could also, you know, say that the best teacher of giving head is the guy that you're giving head to.
Probably.
I mean,
it's the same thing with like the recipient thing. Like when I said we were talking about it, like penis size over 6 doesn't matter. You're not the one receiving it, so I feel like you might not be entirely able to make that call.
Well, you also have to remember. You also have to be able to.
I feel like she's read those.
I feel like she has, yes. Yeah, that's actually a very good point, Big Assassin.
You just
if you ain't doing it right, if I ain't doing it right, tell me I'm not doing it right, and I'll do it the way you want me to do it, so that you have the biggest orgasm you can get.
Yeah, it's no fun unless she's having fun. But, unless she's getting the most pleasure she can possibly get out of it, it's no fun. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
So in my opinion, like, yeah, just slap the dude across the head. Just be like, listen, asshole, you're focusing too much on this side. Go over
All
here.
right, so first of all, I am not a proponent of violence at all. So slapping anyone upside the head and saying, listen, asshole, is not conducive to a healthy relationship. Now, what you could do is say, hey, that's not really doing it for me there, buddy. So how about you move to here as you reposition their head and do things in that area. It's like, now if they're hurting you, that's another matter entirely.
Enough. That's just not passionate enough.
It's only fun if she ain't having any. The multiple bills. I mean, sure, okay. Where the fuck is Sergeant Buck? We're coming up on 30 minutes now without Sergeant Buck.
We're coming up on 30 minutes about talking about fucking vaginas.
We are not talking about vaginas. Cunnilingus. There is a difference.
Wait, hold on. Have we been specifically talking about cunnilingus the whole time?
Not the whole time. First, we started off about
penises.
What the hell did we start? We started off on penis and penis size, and then it moved into the average depth of vagina.
Wait, hold on.
Then we moved into tightness and not tightness because you brought it up, and then we moved on to cunnilingus.
I remember how we got here too, because you made the statement that Leslie Jones, if she was a man, she'd have a big penis, and I didn't know where you were getting that from, and then you
proportionately, if she were the same size as me, like height-wise, but overall body, we'd probably have very similar penis sizes.
nothing turns me on like I'm sorry.
Leslie Jones she's what, almost 6'3"? Google Leslie Jones height. I think she's very tall.
Captain Chief put in there. There's nothing that turns me on like a girl who attempts to crush my skull between her thighs.
Well, you have some weird fetishes there, but
that's that's not a fetish. That just means she likes it.
True.
Like,
True. There have been a couple of times where I have almost.
I'm not
But
gonna tell them.
that's beyond that. As to the whole safe word thing, no, I'm not really interested in being in a situation where I actually need to say a safe word to ensure that she's not killing me. Yeah, not interested. Not interested in that. Thank
Do
you.
you
very
not
much.
foreplay, Pig? Do you not foreplay?
I foreplay just fine, thank you. I do not BDSM.
You don't role play at all?
Not in the bedroom, no.
Really?
No, seriously. I don't do handcuffs. I don't do restraints. I don't. I actually get I get panic attacks when I'm in a restraint situation.
I just mean in general role play.
Oh no,
Not
I
BDS.
LARP.
No, in the bedroom.
In the bedroom, no. I don't really role play in the bedroom.
Really?
Well, because I LARP, the role play tends to be a distraction more than anything else. It's like, yeah. My wife and I actually met through. Say that again.
I RPG my way to her heart.
Yeah, funny thing is, my wife and I actually met through the LARP that we were going to a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah. At the time, I was actually still married to my succubus of an ex-wife, but yeah, after a couple of years of knowing each other and LARPing and being interested in each other outside of the game, we ended up getting married, and it's a fun thing. But generally, we are not interested in role play very much at all. It's very much now in like 10 or 15 years things might change. We might try to do things differently. But right now we've only been married for 11 months to the day.
I mean, like.
Yeah, we got married February 7th, 2000. So yeah, shit. That means I have to get her a freaking anniversary. Damn it, fucking money grubbing, goddamn companies, and they're making everything about buying her shit. Where the fuck is Sergeant Buck? Jesus Christ. I am going to go ahead and try and figure out where the right tweet. At Sergeant Buck paging.
Alright, man, I need to go get a drink.
Oh, so you're just gonna leave me here with with the chat, huh? Thank you, Big Assassin. I appreciate the congrats on that. Considering that the marriage that I had before that didn't even to that 1 year mark before she freaking chucked deuces with my kid. Killing her belly. But no, yeah, you go ahead and go stuff. I'm going to encourage everyone who's in the chat watching this live stream right now to figure out something else to do, because I don't know how to entertain you.
Well, here's the thing: we don't have control over the fucking stream. So not only can I like not show you some cute cat videos,
we literally can't. We can't show you guys anything. But like, I will continue to make Poveros uncomfortable with talking about things he's uncomfortable about.
I'm not uncomfortable about this. I don't know anything about it, so I'm like sitting
so,
here
like-
trying to continue a conversation that I know nothing about. And what's making me uncomfortable?
Let me ask you a question.
All right.
Have you
Sure.
ever put it in the bus? I meant to say but I said bus. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Oh wait, that's right.
wait.
I have had a lot to drink.
Yeah, I'm about 3 beers in. 3 beers in. No. I have not. I have finger though.
Really? Did
Yes,
you lick
yes.
it afterwards?
No. No. Okay. So I saw this great meme. I saw this great meme. Like, you good? You good? You
I
good?
think I'm coming down with the
That's
chest
not
cold.
Good. That's not good. But there's this great not safe for work fact, right? So what you could do is you could stick one finger in the butt and one finger in the vagina, and you can press them together, like where the walls touch because they're quite close.
I feel like
And
we should
call-
bring. I think we should bring Liviana the philosopher.
I feel like we should too. But
Hang on a second.
and-
Let me see if I
hold on.
can't bring her into the Discord.
and then you touch them. It's called the Adele.
The Adele.
The Adele.
The Adele.
The Adele. Can you? Do you not get it?
No, I'm starting to get it.
You have one coming in through the butt and one coming in through the I'm drunk, but you have one coming in through the vagina. They're touching. They're not touching each other. They're just touching the wall.
Dude. Google Eagle's Claw.
Eagle's claw. Okay. Is it something I shouldn't?
On apparently Urban Dictionary.
Our Urban Dictionary. All right. Oh, interesting. So it's just like gripping it on there. What? Why am I getting added?
Who are you being added by?
Yeah, big assassin. It's like, what the hell, Paveros? What am I getting added about?
I don't know.
How far back
It
is
says,
the
"What the
stream?
hell, Poveros?" I don't know.
How far back is the stream? That's. I am kind of just sitting here and just for no fucking reason. But if you never mind, I'm gonna move on from this fact. No, it did lead to an interesting story. I had been talking to a girl for a really long time, and I decided to, just drag her in from the Saints Discord, my dude.
That's what I'm trying to do, man.
But so
Hello. I can't hear.
The Adele. Do you get it?
What? Oh, you're back on that Adele thing?
No. The big assassin is apparently that's.
Hey there.
Hey. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing great.
We're fine. We're fine.
A little intoxicated in my case, but we're fine. Wondering where the hell. because we have totally appropriated his channel to talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about on
At this
air.
point, we can't like I think we'd be better off if we could just like start playing like videos or music and shit, but we can't. Wait, no, technically we can, because he has no.
He does not
no.
have it brought up in the OBS. He hasn't transitioned to that scene.
Yeah.
He's still on that one article, and I'm actually kind of concerned because I don't know where the hell he is, and I'm starting to get a little concerned that he's passed out taking a dump or something, because he's had
Got
quite a
too
bit to
drunk.
drink.
I didn't think he had that much. Sorry, go ahead.
I thought you said he only had 3 beers.
I was probably mistaken if he's not back yet.
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
No, I didn't even know when he left. Honestly, it's like I can tell that he left when I to that portion of the article, but then he never came back, I guess. I mean, holy crap. Did he forget? Did he forget what he was doing? I'm definitely going to be giving him shit about
That would be fucking hilarious. If he just like forgot what he was doing and he just got up and walked away.
it. Would be. I highly doubt that anyone ever had that much.
he just got up and was like, oh, I should probably go to the supermarket.
I've
All right,
actually
all right.
done that before. I was talking with some people back in the day when AOL still had chat rooms.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, I went outside for a minute. I think I don't remember what I was going outside for, but I went outside and I forgot that I was in the chat room. And so like an hour later I came back and they were like, "Where have you been?" And I was like, "I've been outside looking at the leaves."
Whoops.
Was that an alcohol thing or was that other substances?
Other
Okay.
Alright, so Liviana, please go forth and make Pavaros very uncomfortable.
I doubt she can. I'm telling you that right now. She can't.
I would be very, very surprised if she couldn't, because
I doubt she could. I'm 100% she can't.
dude, you are a young man.
Young, how old are you, pig? How
Dude,
old
I'm-
are you?
31?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
What'd you think I was? 19?
no, like 27.
No, I'm in my 30s, dude. And I've been around the block a couple of times more than a normal 30 person should. But yes, Liviana, please make him uncomfortable.
Oh.
You really like? Does she? Here's the question: does she want to? Like, you're asking her to, but does she want to?
Well, if she didn't want to, then she wouldn't have come in here in the first place. Because that's kind of what I said in suggestion to the invite: is if you want to make Pavaros uncomfortable, join us.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh well, fuck me. That just blows my
Okay.
whole thing out of the wall.
Okay, I'll fuck you.
Oh, it says if you want to make Poveros squirm.
Oh well, yeah. That's
Oh,
what same thing.
all right.
I mean, I wouldn't be against either. It would be amusing.
Well, he was getting rather flustered earlier.
He was.
didn't-
He
I
so
don't-
was.
I didn't know how to have this conversation, so I'm trying to like act like I can have a conversation.
Well, you can have a conversation. It's like, oh wow, I didn't know. Oh,
Yeah, but then I
that's an
felt like a
interesting thing.
fucking
I'm gonna
idiot.
have to look that up later. How would that make you look like an idiot? Seriously, the only people who look like idiots are people who try to seem like they know more than. And I'm the first person to admit when I don't know something. All right. And I also preface with I could be very, very. That way I don't look like an idiot. I just look like someone who's misinformed. Checkmate.
Oh no, man. So you guys want to hear some sad news, like before we get into this shit?
Sure, what's up?
All right, so hey, there's a PDF of it. So Memory asked on Twitter, "Why is Vernaculus gone?" Anahata Hearts responded with a post from Vernaculus. I want to reinvent this channel into something more apolitical, positive, educational, and relaxed. The world doesn't need another jittery, confrontational person on the internet. Book reviews and the will be on their way. I do have a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, as well as I'd rather not speak about it publicly. That involves me being off of social media, mainly Twitter. Not to mention that I need to find a better way to pass the time as opposed to hopping in and vindicating and petty Twitter mosh pit. I don't want to contribute to that anymore. I don't want to be that person any longer. Content will still be posted on YouTube and can be reached. You can still reach me through the email vernaculus@gmail.com or through my Patreon messenger. Just don't expect me to be around anymore apart from posting my content. Have a wonderful day.
Dang.
I love Vernaculus, so that's actually really fucking disheartening.
I enjoyed the content that he produced that I've actually seen. There were a couple of times where I didn't enjoy his content because I found it boring, but I don't know. I mean, it's his choice to whether or not he does it or not. But I don't know.
It sucks.
It's disappointing. Yeah. I mean,
sucks 'cause
I would say that he is very adept at what he does.
He
has a way of presenting things that other people just don't. So I'm a little disappointed in that.
I would agree. I enjoy his take on things. So
that is one pissed off looking cat.
He's not just a pissed off looking cat. He's like, how did that even happen? What is that?
That would be styrofoam pellet. So like, it's the individual little pellet styrofoam broken up in pieces.
It just sticks to things like that?
Yes, actually it does. It sticks to everything.
Alright, so he says, to be honest, if he's happy, then that's all for the better.
What the hell is that dog barking at? I will...
Alright. What, buck? Or pig? I don't fucking know anymore. Alright. So here's an Urban Dictionary post from Captain Chief. It is called Charizarding. When you light a girl's pubes on fire and put it out with your jizz, and then flap your arms and say, "You don't have enough badges to train me." I don't know anything about Pokemon. I totally fucked that up. I understand.
That sounds really strange.
It does sound really fucking strange. Just start flapping your arms around. You don't have enough badges to train me. You don't have enough badges to train me. What? Alright. I've actually had somebody, because I made up my name, Paveros, is a made-up word. It's like a changed around word from Greek. And in Bering's chat, when Bering first opened his Discord, I ended up jumping into it and was a part of like the beginning of it when all the voice chats were full of people just screaming "re" for an hour. And I finally got my voice chat to calm down because there was like 4 of them. And got them all to come down. There's like 80 people in there, or like 40 or something. I don't fucking know. It was large enough to where there were so many people that I had people like messaging me later on that I didn't even recognize. And one of them messaged me and sent me that he created my name on Urban Dictionary, and it's my name in Urban Dictionary now means a giant cuck who has a giant dick and a decently loud mic and is able to shut up 30 people in a Discord chat at once.
Well, there you go. What was the name originally?
Oh no, it has no definition because it's not. It's I made up the word.
Well, you said you rearranged some Greek word.
Oh, Faveros. Faveros it means awesome in Greek.
All right, I'm back.
I just sat on like Google Translate for like an hour typing in words, trying to find an easy word that also was different enough to where I could change it a little bit and have it as my main name. And I got Faveros, and I changed the F to a P.
Huh. See, you could have said something about that earlier when I asked you before we started this.
It wasn't to keep on schedule. Now we have all the time in the world. Now we're just going to start shooting the shit and talking. I have been reading these lovely definitions off of Urban Dictionary, and so I'll continue with that. So another one from Captain Chief, the donkey punch. The donkey punch is when you engage in anal sex. And when
I know what a donkey.
All right. I think this might be a little too risque.
I know what a donkey punch is.
all right, I'll calm down. I won't read it. That's like I think he's gonna keep saying, I don't know what to do anymore. Like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Like
we basically have nothing else covered topic. Oh shit, what the only thing we have left, I believe, is
we're almost at 3 hours.
Disorientation manual. And yes, we're coming 3 hours. Somebody decided to freaking leave. Someone decided to leave. He's literally been away from being the.
Say he's been away?
Yeah, the Discord is saying he's away right now. If he's been on Discord in the last 45 minutes here, so I'm literally going to channels checking to see if he's posted anything in the last 15 or 20 minutes so that I can yell at him. Because holy shit, he left us holding the bag on the.
Well, there is a thing in Discord settings that will make you go idle after a certain period of time of actually being idle. So if you don't change that, it will, in fact, change the little circle by your name to orange instead of green.
Yeah, because if you've been idle long enough, I think the default is actually about 40. And I don't know when his but I'm a little concerned because, I mean, well, let's be fair. Sergeant Buck doesn't always disconnect when he's supposed to disconnect. But I assume that he would have at least said, hey, it's time to end this here, and then actually end the stream. Yeah, well, you weren't really part of the stream there, dude. You're kind of just there. But you know what? Screw it. Let's have a party here.
Are you gonna invite Jables?
Everybody who's in the chat right now, give me your Discord. So
A hot Richard.
all right, let's see here.
Who's in general? What?
Where is Jable?
I need something to drink. I will be right back. My throat is dry.
You weren't invited because you think pineapple on pizza is some kind of abomination.
There we go.
This
There's
was a
some more
mistake.
people. Probably. Probably a mistake. But you know what? I think I will enjoy it either. And who wasn't invited? They put pineapple on pizza. Oh, I'm seeing activity. I'm seeing activity from Sergeant Buck.
Oh no.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Jables wasn't invited because he doesn't approve.
Buck! Holy shit!
You're alive!
You're alive!
Sort of.
Hey!
Violently
Hey, you
resurrected from the grave.
You should totally end the stream, Buck!
Like right now!
Totally.
I just got
Well,
here.
soon, you think?
Yeah, you should totally end it. What happened?
God damn.
And now James
Yeah. Hey,
And now Jables is here, so the party's all here.
I feel like
yeah, fuck all you guys.
what Pig, what would you have done if I wasn't here?
What would I have done if you weren't here?
Yeah, just
I
invited
probably
everybody
would've-
else.
I probably would have invited just about every fun. Just for shits and grins. Sergeant Buck, what the fuck happened to you?
Alright.
Lots of things.
Alright.
Lots of things?
Oh,
Alright,
yeah.
everybody, this has been your week of Locked and Loaded. Good fucking night.
Wait, that's the weekly thing?
Just good night. Look, we've been sitting here talking about penis and vaginas for like an hour.
Oh, more than that. More than that.
A little bit.
Oh, not a little more.
No, it's about an hour. Dude, so you're alright?
I'm fine.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know.
You don't know? Did you pass out?
I don't think so.
Did
I've
you
just been-
black
wait,
out?
Hold on.
No,
Have
not
you just been
blackout, no.
sitting here? Have you just been sitting here listening to us this entire time?
No. I didn't
So
get up.
You didn't get up?
Did not.
You've been sitting there the entire time.
But you didn't pass out.
Bam
No.
fucking boozled.
No.
And you sure you didn't black out? Because it sounds like you blacked out. Then
I know I didn't black out. I don't know. I
Hey
don't know
everybody,
what to tell
James
you.
Boogly here.
Christ on a bike.
Wait, the stream's still going?
is I don't think he's
No,
closed it yet.
stream. Is it still going?
Yeah, it's still going.
Really? It says it's been interrupted.
Oh.
La, 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 la.
So, should I get you guys demonetized, or should I...
No,
no,
we're
I
way
already did
past
that.
that. We're way past that.
Yeah.
Jables,
We've
we're
been
way past that.
demonetized for about an hour and a
okay,
half.
you guys are all...
For like the
Okay, so you guys are all way
Like the-
past the nigger, fuck, cunt.
Well,
the
I'm
fact
sure we're
is
past
all
that
there.
moment now.
And
Yeah,
what's another community striker too?
well, like for the past 20
Alright,
minutes,
for-
I've been
for-
reading out. Go ahead.
All right, so first, I'd really like to go ahead and
Close the stream so I can stand up and go get a drink of water.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
You might want to edit this, take it down and edit it, put it back up.
Oh, it's a little late for
you might
that.
want.
There's like about an hour that you shook it out.
Whoa, hey.
Just fucking hell.
As soon as Smart Pig mentions Leslie Jones, just cut everything from there on.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
Exactly.
Oh,
my
sorry.
God.
Who doesn't approve of me? Like, what
I
happened there?
don't approve of you.
I don't approve of you.
It would be a shorter
Okay.
list of who approves of you.
You're opposed to our freedom of eating pineapple on pizza.
Well, no, because pineapple
night,
is an
everyone.
abomination.
No, it's not.
Actually, I'll have to stand up
Yes.
with Jables here.